Verdum has turned down 2 fights.
One of them was
JDS, yeah.
And the other
Verdum turned that fight down.
one? And the other one?
There's different ways to turn fights down. I can call and say, hey, you want this fight? No, I don't want this fight. Or you can say, yeah, for $800,000 in a piece of pay-per-view. That's turning down the fight.
So the one was GDS and the other one, can you say was?
Yeah, then we offered him a fight with, I think, Alistair Overeem in Brooklyn, and he turned that down too.
Mike Goldberg's final UFC is this Friday. Is that true? Or?
That is true.
So what's the deal? Like, did he decide to leave, or are you like who's being replaced?
You know, when these kind of things happen, I'd rather not talk about it. You know what I mean? If Mike wants to talk about it, ask Mike.
Do you know who's going to replace him?
I do.
Can you tell us?
Well, listen. You know, we have guys right now from Anik to several fighters who are involved in the. But I've had a plan for a couple of years now that I've been waiting for it to play out. It's now playing out. So
when will you make some announcements?
When it all comes together.
So will this be your plan by 208 in Brooklyn?
No. Probably by July, if everything goes my way. Ronda asked to, from the day that this fight was made, she said, "I'll do press. I'll do press leading up to the event," and she went and did the talk shows and did all that stuff, and this is the way she wanted to do it. So I said, okay.
You're not happy about this though, right? Like, this is not an ideal circumstance?
No, it's definitely not ideal. It's what she asked for, and I said, like I said, back in the day, Ronda would literally do anything we asked her to do, anything. And if the guys wouldn't do something, she would pick up the ball and do it herself. So for her to ask for something like this, how can I say no to that?
Will you let her keep doing this if she wants it for another fight?
No. This is a one and done. Ronda Rousey's done a lot. Done more media than anybody ever in the history of this company. Major media that nobody else could get, and she did it all. And this is something she asked for. It doesn't open floodgates, it doesn't change anything. If somebody shows up, doesn't want to show up for a press conference, I'll pull them from a card again. Well, I thought it was weird when she kept turning down fights. We created a 145-pound division. She kept turning down fights. First, she said she couldn't make the weight in 8 weeks. Then she said she couldn't make the weight in 11 weeks, And, if she was having health problems that were that bad, she should have brought it to our attention. And, when she kept turning down fights, when that thing came back, I wasn't shocked. It made more sense on why she didn't want to fight for the 145-pound title. Listen, I stopped saying never. Who knows? But highly unlikely. You know what I mean? I think that, I say it all the time, look how long it took for Pacquiao and Mayweather to happen. Those guys are in the same sport. There's nobody better at staying relevant when they're not doing anything than Conor and Floyd. They're both masters.
Does that irk you, the fact that people keep talking about this?
Nah, listen, it did bother me until I bumped into 50 Cent and he told me that Floyd really wanted to fight him. He said, no, I'm telling you, he wants to fight him. Whatever.
What about the reports about Khabib and Tony potentially fighting in Russia? I'm not sure what timeline that would be, but also for like an interim title.
Yeah, that's not true.
No, that's true?
No.
What about the interim title part?
What I did say, yes, that's true. So we were trying to make that fight. Tony said he will not do that fight unless he makes the same exact money that Khabib makes. Khabib has a different deal. So that ain't happening. So count that one out. And it was never supposed to be in Russia. What I said was, we're doing a lot of things in Russia right now, and the next time Khabib fights, I'll do a press conference in Russia.
Can you make the case, like, why can't Tony ask for the same amount of money? Like, what is...
He has a contract that he just signed.
How long ago? Do you know?
Not long ago.
Is that it?
There's a thing where these guys, I honor every contract, no matter what it is. I get into some shitty deals too. You know what I mean? You got a guy that's making tons of money, but he was a champion, and that was the deal I cut. I cut that deal and I signed it, and I gotta live with my deal. You know what I mean? And if you ever see some of these older guys, whether it be Dan Henderson, whose numbers piss everybody off for some reason, right? All the fighters are pissed off about Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson's been in this sport for 100 fucking years. You know what I mean? And the guy has a couple fights left. So should I cut him and cut his contract in half? Well, it might be the last deal the guy ever has. And it was the last deal he ever had. You know what I mean? This is one of those businesses where you don't look at Dan Henderson and go, guy was a fucking pioneer. Guy was an animal, would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. Good for him. It's good to see Dan Henderson make some money. No, what I get from these guys is, did you see what fucking Dan Henderson made? Dan Henderson sucks. There's no way this is the shit that I get with these guys, you know what I mean? I'm like, listen, if you can stick around as long as Dan Henderson has and fight the guys that Dan Henderson has, then maybe you'll be making Dan Henderson money too. The other one is Alistair Overeem. Everybody's pissed off at what Alistair Overeem makes. Alistair Overeem's been around forever. The guy's earned his way up, and that's his deal.
But is it true that Jose Aldo is trying to move up to lightweight division?
No. Would he? Yes.
He was saying that.
He was saying that he asked for Khabib
He did ask for Khabib.
and for you.
No, he asked for Khabib. He
You
wanted to
like
fight
that fight?
Khabib. Because Khabib's looked at as the guy in that weight division. He wanted to fight him.
And then, what
And
happened?
Khabib's dad didn't want him to fight. Khabib's dad wants him to rest.
But is it true that he wants to fight for the light heavyweight interim title?
The lightweight, yes.
And you guys are up to do it?
I'm up to do just about anything. I mean, it depends on, I like that fight. Khabib and Jose Aldo would be fun. I'm in.
Are you done with Khabib and Tony though? Is that off the table now completely?
Khabib?
Khabib
Yeah.
and Tony, that's off the table?
Yes.
He has complained, though, like that you and the new owners of the UFC haven't flown to see him yet. What is the status of that request and/or potential meeting?
Yeah. When Conor's ready to talk, he knows where I am. Conor, the last conversation that Conor and I had, he was taking 10 months off. So everybody keeps talking. I'm not even thinking about Conor. Conor is not in my plans for the next 10 months. At all.
Unless he calls you and clarifies.
Listen, we run a business where we make fights. I know who's available, I know who's not available, right? Conor told me I'm not available for 10 months. We're having a baby. My girl stresses out when I fight, and I don't want to put that on her while she's pregnant. I love it. I respect it. I get it. Do your thing, buddy. And that's it. He's not in any of our plans for the next 10 months. That's why one of the things I always talk about Conor, when I say about Conor, you guys could never really comprehend or understand because you're not really in it. These guys all act like they want to fight somebody until they get the call. Hey, you want to fight this guy? You want to fight that guy? You'd be very shocked at how many guys turn down fights and don't want to fight. Conor McGregor will fight anybody, anywhere, anything. It's the truth. It just really is. That guy doesn't care.
We got the best job in the world.
We do have the best job in the world.
Pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Great to be here tonight.